Okay, everybody's pretty much doing all the right things. Now I'm going to tell you how to put it in notation, right? The notation's just going to be this. So if I multiply this row by this column, this is what I get, right? Now if I multiply this row by the column, I get okay? Make sense? Did I just start that? Boy, I can't even remember when I start the thing. Okay. Lack of attention. And of course, we know that comes out 760/200, right? Okay? That good? Okay, good. Now we're going to go another step. I want to do this. Now we're not going to actually be able to do this right now, but we will in a couple of minutes. Wouldn't it be great if we could do this? Because if we raise this thing to the fourth power, it turns out that's going to give us our fourth transition, and we don't have to do any of the intermediate transitions.
Oh my, that's pretty cool.
Okay?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, but how are you going to raise that to the fourth? You can't just raise this to the fourth, this to the fourth, this to the fourth, and this to the fourth. Yeah, well, that's exactly what it would mean, right?
Yeah.
So you would multiply the four matrices together.
Oh my goodness.
The matrix multiplication is associative. It's not commutative. Okay? And we'll see what that means. Okay? But first, let's just define matrix multiplication. Okay? It's pretty simple. So, I'm going to do it with symbols. A, B, C, D times W, X, Y, Z equals. Okay? Now the other notation we use subscripts when we're doing matrix, but I'm just going to use simple numbers so we don't get confused with subscripts. And then I'll confuse you with that a little later. Okay? Okay, this gives us a matrix. And the matrix is this. Now you notice that the first thing we learned to do was multiply a row by a column, right? Okay? So here we multiply row by column to get this. We multiply row by column to get this. Okay? That's all we can do. We can multiply rows by columns, and that's the only thing we can do with matrix multiplication. Then the only question is, which row do we multiply by which column, and where do we put it? Okay? So let's see. Which row did I multiply by which column? First row or second row here?
The first.
Well, very good. That's first row. Yeah. And first or second column?
First.
First column. So there's the first row times the first column, right?
That's the second.
Now, which row and which column do you want to do next? We're going to do them all.
Second.
Second row times first or second column? Second column? Okay. Now, where am I going to put that? We know the first row is A, B, and the second column is X, Z, right? Where am I going to put that result? Well, this matrix over here has rows and columns, right? Where do I put this? Which row is this going to be?
The top.
First, second, third, fourth, fifth?
First.
It's first row, right?
Yeah.
And which column?
First.
First column, unless I'm going to try to squeeze something in here. It's pretty obvious. That's the first row. If there's other things in the row, of course, this is the first one, right?
Mm-hmm.
If there are other things in the column, just where I've got the bracket here, that's got to be the first row, first column, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when I multiply the first row by the first column, I put it in the first row and first column of this matrix, right?
Mm-hmm.
So where do you think I'm going to put it if I multiply the second row by the second column?
The second. row in the second column.
Okay, well, second row of the matrix, where's that gonna be? Well, it's gonna be below the first row, right?
Yeah.
And second column, well, it's gonna be to the right of the first column. Well, that's all obvious. So I can write my C, D, X, Z here. Okay? So show me where the others are gonna go. See if you can write out the rest of this matrix. And then I'll be sure to explain it, make sure you understand if you did it correctly.